Hello, my dear students, and welcome to today's lesson 10C. Read Exercise A and Exercise B for Grade 9. Students Book, page 110. Let's get started. As usual, my students, let's start with the learning objectives. Students will be able to 1. Recognize some words or phrases related to the reading text. Oliver Twist. 2. Get the main idea of the reading text. Here we are going to recognize some words or phrases related to the reading text. Look at this word. Often. And it is a noun, which means a child whose parents have died. Look at the following example. According to the Holy Quran, we should not oppress the orphan. Look at this picture. Rags. And it is a noun, which means old or torn clothes. For example, the poor man was wearing some rags and looked very cold. Look at these pictures. They stare, and it is a verb which means to look at something or someone for a long time without moving your eyes. For example, parents often tell their children that it's rude to stare at other people. Look at this picture. And the next word is whisper. And it is a verb which means to speak very quietly so that other people cannot hear you. Look at the following example. The girl whispered to her brother as she didn't want anyone to hear her. Look at this boy. Wink. And it is a verb which means to quickly close and open one eye as a signal to somebody. For example, the boy winked at his brother. Look at this girl. What is she doing? Very good, my students. The next word is nudge. And it is a verb which means to give a little push to somebody, especially with your elbow. For example, the girl nudged her friend and asked her to stop reading. Look at this picture. The word is courage, and it is a noun which means the ability to do something difficult or dangerous without showing fear. Look at the following example. You need a lot of courage to go exploring alone. Look at these men in the pictures. They are speechless, and it is an adjective which means not able to speak because you are very angry, surprised, etc. For example, we were all speechless when he told us the sad news. Okay, my students, this is the text of our lesson today. And here we have some pre-reading questions before we start reading. Question number 1. What kind of text is it? Very good, my students. It's a literary text. Number 2. Where does this text come from? It comes from the novel Oliver Twist. Number 3. Who is the author of this novel? Excellent, my students. Charles Dickens. Now, open your student's book, page 110. 1. Read. Exercise A. Discuss. Have you read Charles Dickens' Oliver Twist? If so, what did you like about it? What do you know, or can you guess about life in England in the 19th century? How do you think poor or rich people lived? Pause the video, think, then answer. Now let's check your answers. Here I have some suggested answers for you. You can compare them with your answers. Now let's move to exercise B in the student's book, page 110. And in this exercise, we are going to get the main idea of the reading text. Read the following extract from an adapted version of the novel Oliver Twist. Quickly skim. What is happening? Now, let's skim the text to answer this question in order to get the main idea of the reading text. Let's read the text and you can follow with the speaker. Let's start.
10C. 1. Read.
At last it was evening. The large stone hall of the workhouse filled with hungry, skinny young orphans dressed in filthy rags. Perhaps the word hungry doesn't accurately describe their grumbling, empty little stomachs. Starving would probably be more suitable. They had 3 meals a day, which consisted of only 1 bowl and no more of watery, tasteless soup, except on special occasions when they enjoyed a tiny piece of bread too. Moments after the food was served, it disappeared. The boys licked bowls, spoons and fingers and searched busily for a splash that they hadn't noticed. Because of this, the bowls never needed cleaning. Then they stared, as they always did, at the huge copper pot that held the soup. That evening appeared to be no different from any other. It was, though. Before dinner, all the boys had held a meeting and had made a decision. They couldn't suffer any longer. They had to act, and it was Oliver Twist who was chosen to perform the task. First, the boys whispered to each other. Then they winked at Oliver. The boy next to him nudged him and told him to go and ask for more food. It was time. Perhaps it was the hunger or the misery that comes with it that gave him courage. He rose from the table and walked up to the master, bowl and spoon in hand, and said, "Please, sir, I want some more." The whole room fell silent. The master's face turned white, not believing what he was hearing. He stared at Oliver for a few long seconds, speechless. All eyes were on the master, half fear, half hope. "What?" he said angrily. Without hesitating, again Oliver asked if he could have some more soup. The master was furious and did not reply. He raised his ladle high, not to serve more soup, but to hit poor Oliver violently on the head. The men in charge of the workhouse were shocked when the master rushed into their room. "I beg your pardon, sir. Oliver Twist asked if he could have some more." They quickly decided that they had to do something at once. The next morning, there was a poster at the gate of the workhouse offering £5 to anyone who would take Oliver Twist off their hands.
Now, after skimming the text, pause the video, then answer this question to get the main idea of the reading text. Now, let's check your answers. What is happening? Or what is the main idea of the reading text? Excellent, my students. Oliver Twist is asking the master for some more soup. Okay, guys. Can you find the clues in the text to justify your answer? Very good, my students. Here, the boy next to him nudged him and told him to go and ask for more food. And also here, Oliver Twist said, "Please, sir, I want some more." And here also, again, Oliver asked if he could have some more soup. So this is the main idea of the reading text. Well done, my students. Now open your workbook page 108. 10C, exercise A. Complete with the words in the box. As you see here, we have 10 words, and here we have 10 sentences. And the words are occasion, often, staring, filthy, skinny, whisper, speechless, carriage, elbow, and starving. Let's answer the first one as an example. He grew up as an orphan because his parents had died when he was very young. Now, pause the video, then complete with the words in the box. Let's check your answers. Well done, my students. Okay, my students, this is the end of our lesson today. I hope that you enjoyed the lesson. Till we meet again, thank you for watching and goodbye.